Call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge at 705 Kincomack Road and via Zoom. I ask for a moment, I ask for us to stand for a moment of silent reflection for all those who are suffering from the the impacts of war, especially those in Michigan and Colorado? Virginia, Michigan and Virginia. Let us keep in mind those who are have been victims of terrorism. Councilwoman Mallory, will you lead us in the pledge?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification via April 9th, 2026 and April 16th, 2026. Sunshine notice containing location, date, and time, and access information to the town news and the record, and by posting the same on the municipal bulletin board and the borough website and filing notice with the municipal clerk. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Sure. Councilwoman Montesano Cohen is absent with prior notice. Council President Kinsella. Here. Councilwoman Mallory.
Here.
Councilman Glass.
Here.
Councilwoman Dhariwal.
Here.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Here.
Mayor Papalayo.
Here, very good. Okay, just one order of business before we get to our well-deserved athletes. Could I have a motion and second to approve the minutes of the Mayor and Council regular meeting of February 26, 2026?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, any abstentions? Hearing none, we are unanimous. All right, so we have a wonderful opportunity today to recognize our student athletes, our resident athletes. And so I would call forward, hold on, let me make sure I get everybody's name right. Can I call forward Annie Maple? Or is Mapes, thank you. Ted Stein and Carla. Carla, what's your last name? Rodriguez, very good. Would you guys, three of you, come forward, please? I'm going to sweep around here. Right over here. Testing? Very good. Okay, so you have to hold the mic close. So we have really an outstanding volunteer coaching program in River Edge and outstanding program of student athletes. And we're very, very proud of all of you. And we want to recognize your achievements. And so, by the way, this is being recorded on Zoom. We will be putting it on the mayor's page. It's also on the town's YouTube page, which is the Borough of River Edge, correct? That's the title. So, I'm going to start with coordinator Carla, and she's going to talk a little bit for the record and in praise and recognition of our programs.
Hi, everyone. I'm Carla Rodriguez. I'm the Director of Operations on the board of the Riverdale Blackhawks. We are here today. We have two great teams that have won their flight. I'm so excited to be here and recognize them today. And I love for Annie and Ted to talk more about the teams. Thanks.
I'm Annie Mapes, the coach of the U10 girls team. This season, their record was 9-0-1. There were only 5 goals scored against them. For standings purposes, where only they count one of the times that you play an opponent, their official divisional record was 7-0, with only 1 goal scored against them. They started this little group of girls as a team in the H flight, and after only 5 seasons as a team, their incredible hard work has earned them a promotion to the A flight for the spring. Each and every player contributed to this accomplishment. They show incredible sportsmanship, poise, and hard work on and off the field. But most importantly, they know how to have fun.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congrats. I know she's so prepared. So
They were talking tonight, they didn't know, so.
You probably wrote it down. Yeah, see, yeah. Ted Stein, I'm actually the coach along with Josh and Frank that are out there of the U15A team. The team, which is pretty incredible. A lot of these kids I've had for a long time, but we went 10-0. Similar to what you had said, we only had 9 goals scored against us all year. And you can think about it at that flight or that age to give up that few goals is pretty incredible. The commitment of the team, they're great kids. They're great to be around. The commitment that they give every single day on the field, and they do other activities as well. They play for other teams. But just to tell you is we are the first U15 team at the A flight in Blackhawk history to ever win our flight. So it's actually pretty cool all the way around. So congrats to all of the kids, and hopefully they'll do the same in the spring.
So really athletes that deserve recognition. We're so thrilled. Can the 3 of you move forward and stand right here? Okay. So I hopefully have divided them correctly. This is my team. There you go. And this is your team. And what we're going to do is we're going to call them forward. When I call you forward, we're going to go back and forth. As I call you forward, please come up. I'll shake your hand. You'll get your certificate from your coach. And of course, take the hand of the coordinator. Let me just read into the record what the certificate says. Okay. So it says this, I'm doing the girls first, but we'll get to the boys too. Certificate of recognition. The mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge are proud to present this certificate to, and your name will be written there, in recognition of the Riverdale Blackhawks who earned a promotion from H flight to A flight for the spring. And of course, for your successful wins. And then for the boys, similar, the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge are proud to present this certificate in your name in recognition of the Riverdale Blackhawks for winning their fall 2025 Flight Division U15U Boys Northeast Region U.S. Club Soccer. So we're going to call them forward, and what we're going to do is, if you could hold the mic and stand in between the two of them, and then you're going to come this way, okay? And then we're going to step back just a little bit. You're going to walk in front of us and then behind us. And that way, everyone comes up and stays up, okay? We good? Okay, here we go. So just hold the mic close enough so.
Mariana Sanchez.
Gio Song.
Yeah. Right here.
Harper Dugan.
Lucas Lemma.
Helena Lopez.
Batu Kozan.
Madeline Schweiger, who couldn't join us tonight. Hadley Irving.
Andrew Carbadella.
Julia Davies.
Dante Stramiello.
Madeline Giblin.
Danielle Alapo.
Kira Tifalt.
Evan Calderon.
Lauren Donaghy.
James Melky.
Rosie Mapes.
Joe Koyama.
Tessa Pratt.
Arda Kozan.
Vasi Fikaris.
Christian Gutilla. She do? Okay. Rion Bovell. Sorry, we got a lot of fun.
No worries. Good guy.
Wait, he's,
No, read his name anyway.
what's that?
Never leave something. Read the name.
Oh, he's not here.
Yeah, but just read it into the record.
Rocco Ranga.
Go.
Mason Ratner.
Vera Stramiello.
Benjamin Riscalo. Jack Crawford. Daniel Yee. Vikram Segal.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's your,
We're gonna call coaches in a second.
wait, these are both yours.
Are we ready to call the coaches?
Yes.
Oh, I have
Yep.
one more that wasn't clear. Juliet Dyke. John Dugan.
Thanks for the time, Vinny. Appreciate it.
Angelica Ruiz Cortez.
Thanks for the time.
Frank Stramiello.
Great, thanks for the time, kids.
One more, sorry.
Yes.
Josh Ratner.
Thanks for the time, kids. Okay, so can I arrange everybody? Can I have all the coaches in the back, the girls in the front, the boys in the middle, by height? So girls, I need a single file line this way, shoulder to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder. I need girls here. I need girls over there. Boys, I need you a little bit further back. We're gonna do it with everybody first. Okay, we're gonna do a picture with everybody first, and then if we want to do just the girls with their coaches and the just boys with their coaches. Sounds good, yes? All right, so let me get it out of the way. Everybody big smiles. And make sure that you can be seen. Okay, boys, temporarily move over to that wall with your coaches. Girls, stay exactly where you are. If the girls' coaches can stand in the middle behind them. And you can walk behind the dais. Don't worry about it. It's nothing secret back there. All right, let's take a picture for all the parents of the girls. Big smiles. One more round of applause for the girls and their coaches, and for the moms and dads who got them there over and over again. The practices and games were great. Very proud of all of you on behalf of the council and myself. Well done. Hope to see you here next year. All right, girls, if you can step out, we'll ask the boys to step back in. Girls, come out this way. Girls, come out this way. Boys, back in that way.
Thanks, Coach.
They don't.
It's all or nothing.
That's what.
Just put,
Not worried about
game number. All right, now, boys, it's a little bit unfair to your coaches. So, can I have the boys in the front squat a little bit? Just a little bit. Guys, boys in the squat. Not a lot. Squat down. A little bit. In the green shirt, squat down a little bit. Okay, and I think everybody can be seen now. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Round of applause for the guys, the coaches, and for mom and dad who got them to practices and games. And of course, grandmas and grandpas too might be in there, and guardians and aunts and uncles. Thank you.
Thanks. Actually, every one of my kids. Yes, we had seven.
Congratulations, Josh.
To the mall.
So what the public can know is right now we have the girls and the boys Black Hawks team exiting. We're just giving them a moment before we move on to our next order of business. Welcome. Take care. All right. So one of the things that we know is a huge international and national gift to citizens everywhere is the American Red Cross, and especially when times of disaster occurs. But the Red Cross also does work when we have smaller disasters, like a house fire and stuff like that. So we have called forward to speak to us John Felice, who is the government operational lead for the Red Cross in our area. John is 6 years freeholder and longtime resident and a councilman. Oh, I'm sorry, I left that out. How many years, John, being a councilman? 4. 4. Try to pull the mic closer to you when you speak, okay? And Andy Stone is the executive director of New Jersey.
Northern
New
Jersey.
Well, you
My
know,
colleagues will be. I can take the.
Bergen County is the largest county in New Jersey.
I'm
So
very proud to represent.
yes, and I know that you also, I think, Patterson County and
Yep. So.
I'm sorry, I said Patterson. I meant Passaic.
Yep. Bergen, Passaic, and also Hudson, Essex, Morris, Sussex, and Warren County.
Yeah,
That's my responsibility.
That's a big beat. And the work you do is wonderful. I thought it was at John's suggestion, I strongly agreed that it's good for the council and the public to know what resources are available in times of need, and also to put a spotlight on local officials as well as statewide officials who are there for those who are in need. So guys, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. It is a pleasure for me to be here. Mayor, thank you for inviting me. Council members, hello. What you do is a valuable service to your community. And I want to thank you as a resident of River Edge for 33 years. So thank you very much. We have a slide deck. I don't know if that could be pulled up or not. If not,
It's
that's okay.
Can you pull up the agenda?
If not, that's
You know what? I
okay.
can do it. Hold on.
Okay.
Why don't
Just-
you start and I'll
Right.
pull it up.
The American Red Cross is the largest.
When I come on, you're gonna have to move me into, if a presenter, okay?
Right.
Go ahead, John.
The American Red Cross, the International Red Cross and the American Red Cross is the largest volunteer organization in the world. In North America, it's the Red Cross. In Muslim countries, it's the Red Crescent. And in Israel, it's called the Jewish Star. Okay. We are chartered by the U.S. Congress as one of the key second responders. And in New Jersey, 96% of all the people involved with the Red Cross are volunteers like myself. The Red Cross insignia is not a religious connotation, but it began in Switzerland, and it's basically inverted flag of Switzerland, and that's what that cross signifies. I've been with the Red Cross for about 4 years. I do multiple activities such as disaster action team, where we go out when there's a fire, a tree falls on a home, small, could be one home, or it could be multiple homes in many cases. If there's an accident, a car, let's say.
Hold on a second, Indira. Should be in the chat. Move me into, 1 second.
Okay.
Or just give me permission to present. Okay. Go ahead, John.
Okay. So we have multiple facets of the Red Cross. Everyone kind of knows about the blood supply. In many cases, the Red Cross gets it donated to them. They have blood drives, they process it, and then they sell it to institutions and hospitals. We have disaster services, which I also am very involved with. That's disaster recovery operations. It could be, I've been to Florida twice. I've been to Mississippi for national disasters. We also provide canteening and food for larger events. Let's say if there's a multiple family unit that needs support, we'll feed them. We'll provide them with assistance, financial assistance. Oh, there you go. Okay. So the information on this slide deck kind of talks about what we do. And great. Thank you, Mayor.
You want me to scroll down?
We could scroll down. Okay. Our mission is to alleviate and prevent human suffering. Everything we do is for that mission, whether it's putting air in the tires for the response vehicles, or cleaning out the warehouse where we keep our supplies in when there's an emergency we have to reference. It's all about that. And I'm very honored to be a part of the Red Cross. Andy, you want to just say a few words and introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Andy Stone. I'm the executive director for Northern New Jersey. I just started in January. You might know my colleague Sarah, who was previously in my role, and she's now in charge of disaster for the entire region of New Jersey. So John's boss, telling him where to go. But so I'm new to the role. This is actually my first council meeting that I'm attending. So I'm pleased to be here. I really appreciate everything that you do and the fact that you're willing to talk to us and listen to our presentation about the resources that we have. And as John said, 96% of our workforce here in New Jersey are volunteers. And so I'm very happy to let John tell you all about what we do.
Excellent. Go ahead, John.
Next slide, please.
Sure.
Okay. The numbers speak for itself. Nearly 20,000 people are assisted by the American Cross daily. And the numbers, whether it's CPR training or whether it's we help with military. We have a very strong faction of the Red Cross called Service to the Armed Forces, where we do a lot of work with care kits and assistance with like Joint Base down in South Jersey. I'm very involved with that as well. Also, people get deployed overseas and actually are stationed at a military base and for 6 or 8 months at a time. And there'll be that conduit between that service member and their family. And all the events that happen on a daily or yearly basis, weather alerts. We have an emergency app that I have on my phone that really gives you a very good update as far as emergency weather matters. And I would highly recommend you download that. I think it's very effective. And of course, blood, which is a big part of our mission, is to provide a safe supply of blood to our clients. Can we have the next slide, please?
Sure.
I wish I had that. Okay. We're there to provide. In fact, I was at a class this morning about providing compassion, letting them know you are not alone during probably the worst time in their lives. Their house just burnt down. They just got flooded out of their house because of a storm. A tree falls on their house. These are people that have really lost everything. So what we do, not just provide them with a donation, which everyone is entitled to if they can't live in their home, to get them through a couple of days. And one of the reasons why I want to speak to people in Bergen County is that, we're very blessed. We have a lot of resources, both personally and the community. But you and your family members and your residents are entitled to that gift from the Red Cross. So we go to a scene within 2 hours. We provide them with a blanket, with a hygiene kit, with snacks, and a gift, a donation, so they can get through, even if they're not staying in a hotel, to get them through the next couple of days. We also have spiritual care, mental health counseling, and also for health-wise, if you lose your glasses, we can get another pair for you. And we provide them with a package of information that can get them help, whether it be Catholic Charities, whether it be Board of Social Services, and we tailor them this information to the particular county that they reside in, okay? And then a caseworker follows up with that client the next day. So we're also there to comfort them, to let them know they're not alone. So it's really important. So whether it's a disaster recovery operation, whether it be like a Sandy, or in Mississippi, a tornado, or in Florida, a hurricane, or a tree falls on a house, or if there's a fire in River Edge, we're there within a very short period of time to assist. And then let's say the next day, if no one lets us know, we can also respond to a call and try to assist that person in their time of need. Next slide, please.
Over here. I got the slides.
Okay. Our reputation is built on many, many years of selfless service to the country, to our states, and to our nation, and to our communities. And speaking from experience, the folks I volunteer with are amazing. They're philanthropic, they're humanitarians, and they only want one thing, and that's to help people in their time of need. And they come from all walks of life. So we're very honored, and it's about the legacy of the Red Cross I hold in the palm of my hands every time I interact with someone, and I take that with great seriousness. Next slide, please.
Sure.
And I just spoke about those small disasters and the big disasters, we've been kind of lucky, the last couple years with weather, but River Edge is known to flood, and River Edge, and the local communities, we've been lucky ever since Sandy, to speak of, right? We had the wildfires up in Ringwood last year,
Yeah.
and I was assisting them. I mean, people literally were driving down the street and we're giving out sandwiches and food, and the firemen are, get out. The flames are right by the person's house. So let people know that we're there to assist. And we set up shelters. We'll set up a center for people to gather, let's say, if they can't go back to their house immediately. And that's another thing. We work with municipalities and counties to set up what's called memorandum of understanding. So we'll say, hey, like case in point, Englewood. I met with the folks in Englewood last week, and they had some flooding about 2 years ago. And we're going to work with them to set up a local shelter, do a survey, make sure it's handicap accessible, make sure that it has all the needs met for us to set up a shelter so that in the event of an emergency, they can open up a shelter locally. So a reception center is just a place where we can meet. It's just for a temporary period of time. So next slide. Sure, Mayor. In many cases, when we go to an event, the people that are the most vulnerable need the most help. You know, the first day or two of a shelter, it could be me, right? My house, I can't live there anymore, but I have resources. I could pick up the phone. I have insurance. I have a car. But as time goes on, the folks that are not able to, don't have a car, or they don't have loved ones nearby, or they don't have the ability, you know, they have some handicaps, whether it be psychological or emotional or physical. Those are the folks that need that safe harbor, that refuge in our shelters. And we provide that, and I've seen it firsthand. So, and that's another thing for us to be able to let people know in the community that if you know somebody that's vulnerable, keep in touch with them. Let them know that we can assist, and that because before the actual event happens, you want to let them know that there's a community behind them. Okay. So that we really look to assist people that are most vulnerable during times of disaster. Next. Okay. The climate is changing. You know, there is tornadoes in Michigan, in Indiana, New Jersey never had tornadoes. They have tornadoes now. So, you know, and being prepared is so important. And that's another talk I can give at some point to your community, to your senior group. I'm doing something at St. Peter's to your senior group about how to be prepared, making sure you have all the proper documentation together and so forth. So the Red Cross has they have blue skies we prepare in, and we activate in gray skies. So we want to do our training. We want to make sure we have our volunteer base. We did a extensive shelter activity a couple of weeks ago where we opened up 5 shelters in North Jersey in 2 hours. So we could be prepared for that event. So we train, we prepare, and then when the unforeseen happens, we can activate and begin to provide services to the community. Next, please.
Sure. John, 5 more minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Okay. In essence, the issue is that we are here for you. We are here for every member of the community. We are here to educate. We are here to help you prepare in times of distress. Each of you I gave an envelope to, and it has information about our services, 1-800-RED Cross. Even if, I mean, Neil is here, my neighbor.
I was going to call Neil in a second as soon
Right.
as you
Right.
wrapped up.
Right.
Just if you had comments as our deputy OEM.
He's fantastic. In fact, he knew my dad very well. Long story with that, but so we're here to help. So in the folders is the disaster program manager's Nancy Franceschi's number, but you have my number.
Yeah.
Neil has my number. I deal with the county all the time. So Bruce has my number as well. We're colleagues, we're pickleball colleagues. So thank you. Anything else you want to add?
All right, stay where you are.
Yeah.
Neil, if you could come up for a few seconds and just, but you won't be picked up on the, hold on.
John is very active in the Bergen County OEM and attends every meeting up in Mawa, and I'm there as well.
So just for the public's sake, OEM stands for Office of Emergency Management.
Right.
Go ahead, Neil.
And John is there, and along with a lot of other people, and he is always called on to make a presentation. Any updates, he's there. And anytime we call him, he's there. That's it.
So, Neil, if you couldn't, I know I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't actually prepare you for this. Can you talk about how the Red Cross has assisted River Edge in any of its disasters? If you can just touch base on, do you call them for how do they get to know that there's a disaster in River Edge?
Usually they know by the word gets out that there's an emergency in town, whether it be flooding or a bad fire, and they're there, or we just make a phone call to Central.
That's why I wanted to
Central
point
calls
out.
them. Well, calls your boss and Lodi.
Well, there's a 1-800 number. What happens? That gets then brought down to a local duty officer. And that duty officer then, assess the situation, and then they reach out to leadership.
Yeah.
And then we're contacted to let us know, okay, what is the breadth and scope of the disaster? Is it a house fire? Is it a flood? And anybody can call the 800 Red Cross.
No, but I want to reassure the public that our OEM is in contact with you guys, that this is one of the services that their taxpayers' dollars provide, and that our OEM, our coordinator is Chief Sanders, and our deputy coordinator is Neil Carroll, rather, and that we're here for them, and you guys are here for them.
Yep.
Anything else you guys want to say?
I just want to say, use our services. We're here for all of you and for all of your residents. And we hope it's never to be used, but unfortunately, it will be at some point. And the better prepared we are, the better the communication we have between the fire department, the OEMs in the municipalities and the counties, and the Red Cross, the better we'll be able to provide services to everyone here. So I want to thank you, Mayor. I want to thank you, council members, for your service. Mayor, for your service and
Nice to
leadership.
meet you.
Neil, we go way back. He knew my dad
As
he's
an
a neighbor.
assemblyman,
Yeah, back in '93. So we go way back.
when I did a lot of legislative work down in Trenton, he was always there and always there for River Edge.
Yeah. No, it was it's been a good he's a selfless servant of our community and also a good friend. And I want to thank you all. Andy, you want to say anything?
I thank you. And I would say what John was saying about preparedness is almost as important as the emergency response. Obviously, we respond to every emergency that we hear about that we're asked to respond to, but we also do the home fire campaign where we go out and install smoke alarms. I'm going to be in Newark on April 18th doing that. Installing smoke alarms in any house that needs one, no charge. They're 10-year lithium-ion battery smoke alarms. And, because while it's great that we can respond to fires and help out the community in that way, it's better if we don't respond because it doesn't happen. And if, in Asbury Park last year, we installed a smoke alarm, and just a couple of months later, there was a fire in one of the houses where we installed a smoke alarm. We have the body cam picture of the fire department helping the victim of the fire, and that person got out alive. And you can hear the smoke alarm ringing in the background. So, any house that doesn't have a smoke alarm, we want to go all over New Jersey and install them. So,
Outstanding.
yeah.
Irrespective of, I've been to really nice houses with smoke alarms in, so it's not like people that can't afford to buy. We'll put it in any home. So you give us a call. We have a team I'm a part of as well, and we'll put smoke alarms in their home. So just let people know we're here to those really bad days that could occur with a family.
I think the work you guys do is great. Your volunteers are angels of mercy, and we were glad that you came here so that we could provide for the council and for the public, an understanding of the resources that you guys represent and the life-saving work that you do. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. Great meeting you all. All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Okay, so good. In a moment, we will open to the public. I just want to remind the public that anyone who would like to speak may offer comments The comments are limited to 3 minutes. Our attorney will keep the clock on that. But if your 3 minutes are up and you want to talk some more, just hang out till the end of the meeting. We always make ourselves available. But the formal part of the meeting is a 3-minute presentation for anyone who would like to make a comment. But I have a motion and second to make to open to the public on any item they'd like to speak on.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Please come forward, state your name, your address, and you will have 3 minutes as soon as you're done stating your name and address.
My name is Jotsana Gaur and I reside in, my name is Jotsana Gaur. I reside on 337 Howland Avenue in River Edge. It's been 4 years. I've been resident of River Edge. Good evening to you, Mayor, and to all council members. I hope you remember me from last time we were with our dear friend Preeti on Diwali proclamation.
Yes.
Right, and then I'm here to just give a little speech in case you can give us account for our Indian American community in the town. So I would like to request the mayor and the council to look to grant us the permission to host a small Diya lighting event in the Borough Hall sometime in mid-October is when our main Diwali event is happening this year. As we were here last year to celebrate Diwali proclamation, this year we request you to take one more step ahead, and we represent almost 200 plus Indian American families who reside in River Edge and are part of Riverdale district. By having this opportunity, it will raise confidence, harmony, and respect for the existing governance body in the town. And almost 70 towns in Bergen County host this event as part of their seasonal programs, creating the sense of inclusivity and diversity. I, on behalf of our community members, look forward to hear from you all on just one date to assign to celebrate our beloved festival in River Edge Borough Hall this year.
Okay.
Yep. That's
Any
all.
time left? You have some time left if you want to say something more.
I would have my friend.
Well, he
to
gets 3
say-
minutes too. So
So
we
that's
restart.
all. That's all. I wanted to keep my small speech.
All right. Thank you for
limited.
coming.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, I'll make up for Jyotsna.
Name and address?
Yes, my name is Akhil Chavla. I live at 325 Lexington Drive. Good evening, members of council and mayor. I've been a proud resident of River Edge for 6 years. I stand or sit before you today, not just as a neighbor, but as a naturalized citizen recently who chose this town and this country to be my forever home. From the day I arrived, I've felt the warmth of this community. Whether it's the support of my neighbors or the excellence at our schools, I've always felt included, including my same feeling my children have in the fabric of this town and this state. I'm deeply grateful to live in such a place, in such a town that values civic duty and neighborly care. It is because I love this town so much that I'm here to request a new tradition, an annual Diya lighting ceremony at the Borough Hall to celebrate Diwali beginning this year. Diwali is known as the Festival of Lights. While it has its roots in India, its message is universal. The lighting of Diya, a small clay lamp, signifies the triumph of light over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, and hope over despair. I'm honored to have this opportunity to speak here tonight on behalf of many families of Indian origin in our borough and maybe neighboring towns as well. We see ourselves in the beautiful tradition already established in the town, such as the menorah, which stands proudly outside the Borough Hall during Hanukkah. Seeing that light every year after year reminds us that River Edge is a place where every community's heritage is honored. We would love the opportunity to share Diwali's light with you. This request isn't just for the residents of Indian origin. It's an invitation to every resident in River Edge to celebrate the unity that is coming together as one borough, prosperity, which is wishing well for all our local businesses and families, and diversity, showing our children that our differences is our greatest strength. It's our heartfelt request to further enrich the cultural tapestry of the place we call home. We want to share our sweets, our stories, and our light with you all. I look forward to the possibility of seeing a Diya glow out alongside all our other cherished traditions this coming fall. I think Diwali falls somewhere around October early this year. So thank you for your time, your service, and for making me and my family and other neighbors feel like we truly belong. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, is there anyone else who would like to come forward? Sure, come on up, state your name and address, and your 3 minutes will start as soon as you finish telling us who you are and where you're from.
We sit together.
You can.
Yeah, because we have the same issue that
Sure.
Yeah.
Both of you need to give your name and your addresses.
I'm Mr. Benito Asuncion. I live in 45 Richard Court of Kincamac Road.
Mhm.
I moved to River Edge from Paramus 2015, and I was here with different, I think the last mayor before you came. And then that was 2015. Now it's 2026. I still have the same issue that was never even resolved by the borough. So the issue is our street is a lot of people are parking there, especially the people in Oak Restaurant in Oradell, the boundary of River Edge. They park their cars there at after office hours until 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning. We have an issue that happened twice already, and Dr. Pak will elaborate about the police report.
My name is Young Pak. My office is on 954 Kincamac Road, the Smile Club. Last Friday, around 11:30 at night, a car or truck smashed into a fence between my office and Ben's residence, and it created a big damage. I have a picture. I don't know if you can see, but this is the picture I have. So this has been the ongoing problem because the Oak Restaurant, they have lot of overflowing cars, and they just park anywhere they can. And we happen to be the closest parking lot of the restaurant. So, I wish there's something we can do about it. Whether it's our responsibility as an owner, or is it, as a River Edge town, will you be able to do something about it? That's one thing. And second thing is, it's been an ongoing problem ever since I moved in, but people commuting to New York, parking their cars on the street. And, I looked at the streets next to us and the next to us, 2 streets over. They have this no parking sign and a sign that says no parking between 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And I think that's a great idea. But why isn't that on every street? Why is that on certain street? That I don't understand. So if something like that can be done, I think it will greatly eliminate those commuters who are parking there all day long. And those are the 2 things I want to talk about.
Also, the sidewalk and the gutter of our street has been damaged by people who shop in the Ace Hardware. At one time, I saw a backhoe parking in front of my house, and he messed up all the gutter there. And I was told by the wife of Lieutenant Manginti that we have to pay for it. I said, how can I pay for that? I already paid for the sidewalk. In Paramus, they pay for it. But here, it's River Edge. Probably it's not, as rich as Paramus. We have to pay for it as a residence there. So I have a recommendation since 10 years ago that we are not against the people who work in River Edge to park there. But after office hours, they have not to park there because it's ruining the sleep of people who can hear them. They're laughing and then they're talking.
That's why when that happens, that accident, it's a hit and run. I came out like 12 o'clock in the morning, and Dr. Pak is not there because he don't live there. You know, his office is there. But I called the River Edge police, and they came, and then they did the police report. So why do we need to suffer for these people who work in Oak Restaurant, who is Oradell? They have a lot of parking in Oradell in front of the restaurant. Why do they need to park in our street, which is River Edge? You know, so I hope they can put a sign there that no parking after office hours. So that's all. Yeah.
Okay. You have between you two of you got 6 minutes, so you have another minute if you wish to say something else.
Every time that something happens there, we have to pay for it. Like me, I'm a retired, person already, and money is really tight, and but I have to pay for that. And doctor.
All right. When we close to the public, we'll address some of what you've said. And of course, when the meeting's over, if you want to chat with any of us, we hang out too. But your time is approximately up.
Yes.
So let's see if there's anybody else who wants to speak, and then we'll close to the public.
Yeah. Thank you very much for hearing our case.
Anyone else would like to speak to the council or in public? Anyone remote? No hands up. Could I have a motion and second to close to the public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so because those who came first have already left, I'm going to deal with the second issue first. So this is an issue that would need to go before the traffic and safety. It doesn't come to the council at this point. We need the police to weigh in. So what I would strongly recommend, and if you need some help when the meeting's over, our borough clerk or our borough administrator can give you the contact information in the next meeting of the traffic and safety. Traffic safety is a citizens committee that is essentially run by the police department. So all questions about control of the streets go through the police department and then come to the council. Would that be correct, Mr. Stein, our borough attorney? The next meeting is March 31st. And it's a remote meeting, so it's really easy to come to. You would just go to the website and you'd sign on. But before then, I strongly recommend that you send an email to Sergeant Diamond and CCing Chief Walker. You can find their email addresses on the website, but you can also get them from our clerk or an administrator before you leave. Okay, and then it will become a topic. And then the police will review it, and then they'll make recommendations, and those recommendations the council would then consider. So let's go to the first issue. Mr. Stein, would you speak to the question of doing a Diwali ceremony in Borough Hall based on the memo that we've had about this issue in the past?
Certainly, Mayor. So the borough has this council has adopted a policy of that not to have any celebration that is related to a religious event at Borough Hall. And everything has to be secular, and that's because of the case law from the Supreme Court of the United States that says if you do one for one group, you have to do it for every group. And I have made the legal recommendation to this governing body that if you open it up, that's a policy decision. You have to open it up to everybody. So, and that means that anybody who comes in with a recognized religion has the right to have an event at Borough Hall. And the council had made the decision pursuant to the law to not do that as a policy. So therefore, again, I'm not as versed in Diwali. I don't want to sit up here and say that I'm any kind of an expert on Diwali. But my understanding is that it is a religious event. And therefore, it would fall within that that proscription that the council has imposed on religious events, and that there's nothing at Borough Hall that is religious.
Yes. Any member of council wish to offer a comment? All right, then let's move on. Thank you, Mr.
I just ask a clarification?
Sure.
So the Supreme Court says if you open up to one, you have to open up to all. I'm just wondering, and not to put you on the spot here, but So my understanding is that doesn't mean you can't do it. You just have to be open to all religious groups that want to have some kind of ceremony at Borough Hall. And then I guess the question is, what defines a religious group? Is there a specific set of criteria? I mean, I could form my own religious group and say I want to do a ceremony, or is it something more formal that can help the town understand who can have a ceremony and who cannot?
Well, those are great questions, and I can answer most of them. The question of can you do it? The answer is yes. That's a policy decision by the council to decide whether or not they want to allow it. The reason why generally most municipalities don't allow that is because it exposes the town to the potential for litigation if for some reason some person does come forward, as you indicated, Councilman, with a religion that is not recognized into the eyes of whatever that governing body is. In other words, the law recognizes, and I can say this with respect to religious discrimination in that area I know a lot about in terms of my other practice as an employment lawyer. There are recognized religions, right? You know, you have Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Judaism. Those are all recognized religions. There are others beyond that, like Rastafarianism is considered a recognized religion. For example, I had that trial about it. That's why I know that for a fact. But there are a multitude of different recognized religions. If someone was to come forward with, you know, the religion of Bruce,
sounds good.
Then, and there's a case that talks about that, like, you know, like the individual person creating the religion. I believe there was a case about that there are some parameters in terms of understanding that you know that it's in existence and it wasn't just made up for the purpose of doing this. You know, there's a way to do some due diligence, I think, on that and make a learned decision, I would say, in terms of whether it's recognized or not recognized there. But I don't know that there's a case law that has an actual list of criteria.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Shanadian, just for my knowledge, the public comment was mentioning the menorah as, is that part of Judaism, and is that not a religious symbol? Just for my knowledge.
I'm not Jewish, and so I can't speak to Judaism with authority. My understanding was that the menorah was actually not a religious symbol, that it's a celebration of the victory at where the lights stayed on for 9 nights, and that when they had like a tiny bit of oil. I mean, again, that's my best recollection of.
But the issue is that the Supreme Court has recognized the menorah and the holiday tree. So we should stick to that.
Correct. So, and the mayor is making a good point that was discussed in the memo that we shared, that the menorah and the holiday tree have been declared as sort of a universal symbols of happiness or festival or of as opposed to you know, that are recognized beyond their individual religions.
Yeah. So, for instance, a cross with a purple shroud is a very Catholic Lenten thing, but we wouldn't do that in River Edge. And there are other symbols that are clearly religious in its nature. But the bottom line is not whether they're clearly religious or not. The bottom line is, has the Supreme Court recognized them as secular? And does this council wish to change its policy? And if the council wishes to change its policy, then the council has to understand that it opens itself up to any request. And when it turns down a request, then they're spending taxpayers' dollars defending a refusal of a request that may not be mainstream. And so in the past, those council can change this. It really only requires 4 votes. The council would have to say that we feel that we want to open ourselves up to any request, recognizing that if we deny a request from something that may not be considered mainline, we would then, you know, be incurring a cost to the people of River Edge to defend that request. But if the council wishes to do something like that, the council can consider it at a future council meeting.
I have one last question.
Sure.
Over the past, let's say 3 to 5 years, just picking a random period of time, have we had groups make such requests other than Diwali?
Sure, we've had a Muslims group make a request for the
Ramadan. Crescent lighting.
The
Crescent.
Ramadan.
crescent
Light,
and
yeah.
star, the crescent and the star.
Moon.
And but the period of 3 to 5 is of course arbitrary, which is fine. But we have been consistent with this policy for at least the 15 years I've been on the council. So I don't know if there had been more requests or would have been requests if we hadn't been consistent about this policy. So, you know, I couldn't speak to that, but the council certainly, if it wishes to take it up at a future council meeting, it could do so. When we get to new business, if somebody would like for us to raise this issue, then we need a motion and a second. And the majority of the council would have to say, yes, we want to enter into debate about this. And then we would task our borough administrator with borough attorney rather, borough attorney with preparing a memo for the criteria that we would be interpreting and discussing this, and the guardrails for what we would and would not be under, what our authority is within that, and it would be discussed at a future meeting. So,
Mayor, might I suggest, if possible, either myself or Ms. Apratella, she has it handy, can resend the memo, the original memo to the council, because I know Councilman Pfeffer was new to the council, so
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's a very good thing.
And even I'm not aware of that memo. So thank you.
Sure. Okay. I believe. Okay. Yeah.
I think.
Yes, it's okay.
But okay.
Well, we can always send it again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Any other member of council wish to offer a comment? Okay. We've already closed the public. Could I have a motion and second after I read into the record, approve the termination of Joseph Scott Tolaro, laborer in the Department of Public Works, effective February 26, 2026?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Hearing none, it is unanimous. We have monthly reports. We have Environmental Protection Commission and Green Team January report, tax collector and report of the February, and Library Board of Trustees of the 3rd. We are going to, in a minute, be moving several ordinances. I would like to call Mr. Barron forward. Mr. Barron's going to speak to some of those ordinances. Actually, Mr. Barron, it's the second reading, so just stay where you are. We're going to move the first reading ordinance. Okay, after I read into the record, can I have one member of council move in second? And then, of course, we'll have an explanation to the public of what we're trying to achieve here, and then we will have a vote. A motion that the following ordinance be introduced and passed on the first reading and setting March 26, 2026 at 7 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter can be heard is the date and time in the council chambers as the place, and Zoom as the virtual platform for hearing on said ordinance, ordinance 26-06, an ordinance to fix the salary, wages, and compensation of the officers and employees of the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen and the State of New Jersey for the year 2026. Can I have a motion and second to move it to the floor?
So moved. Second.
It is now on the floor. Could our administrator please explain to the public what we hope to achieve with this ordinance on its first reading?
Sure. Ordinance 26-06 creates the salary range for the dual title of records clerk / police department records custodian.
Okay. Is there any member of council who wishes to debate or to ask a question or make a comment before we vote on the ordinance? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Council President Kinsella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Malari?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Darwell?
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to move all three ordinances, and are all three connected to?
No.
No, that's right. So I'm not going to call any of them yet. Mr. Barron, you will be speaking to ordinance, let me see, 2605 and 2604. So if you could, these are amending our zoning, and they're connected to affordable housing. The public should know that we are obligated to do this by state statute that was passed, I think, early
March 2024.
2024.
Correct.
Mr. Barron, would you please give your name and state your role in the borough?
Sure. Good evening, Mayor and Council, members of the public. My name is Tom Behrens. I am a planner with the firm Burgess Associates. We assist the borough as its planning consultant, including affordable housing compliance matters. As the mayor mentioned, the ordinances being considered this evening are part of the borough's compliance with the state's affordable housing requirements. We are near the end of the final phase, or we're in the final phase rather, of the what's known as the fourth round of the municipal affordable housing compliance process, whereby the state of New Jersey amended the Fair Housing Act in March 2024, essentially creating a new regulatory framework and initiating essentially the fourth round, which is for the period of June 2025 to July 2035. So in that legislation, meaning the amendments to the Fair Housing Act, the state created a methodology for assigning municipal affordable housing obligations in the form of a number, so a certain number of units. And they also included new regulations for how municipalities could satisfy that number. The legislation included several deadlines. The first being that the Department of Community Affairs, an agency of the state, had to conduct this initial calculation where they determined that the state had to produce 85,000 new affordable units statewide. That number trickled down to a number of housing regions, and that regional number trickled down to individual municipal obligations, such as the one assigned to River Edge. River Edge and all municipalities then had to confirm that number by January 31st of 2025. All towns then had to adopt a housing plan or a housing element and fair share plan by June 30th of last year, which River Edge did, which demonstrated how that plan would satisfy the state's requirements. The number, again, given by the state and the plan to address that number. There was then what was known as a challenge phase where any interested party could challenge a municipal plan. The borough did receive one challenge to its plan from Fair Share Housing Center, who is the state's affordable housing advocate. It should be noted that the borough was not singled out, but that Fair Share objected to over 400 municipalities. So the borough worked through mediation with that entity and was able to resolve those matters, and culminating in a mediation agreement between the borough and Fair Share Housing Center, which included certain terms. And that brings us to this next deadline, statutory deadline of March 15th, whereby municipalities must adopt all implementing ordinances that implement the terms of its housing plan that again satisfies that state obligation, as well as terms from, in this case, the borough's mediation agreement with Fair Share Housing Center. So pertaining to those two specific ordinances, I will begin with ordinance number 26-04. As the mayor alluded to, this ordinance amends the borough's existing zoning ordinance in several ways. One, it amends three existing zones that are already regulated in the borough code, and it also creates two overlay zones. And I'll explain what these mean in detail in just a moment. So the first ordinance change that's incorporated in this zoning ordinance has to do with an amendment to the borough's existing Newbridge Landing Station redevelopment area. That is the property that surrounds the Newbridge Landing train station on both sides of the tracks, owned in part by New Jersey Transit and the Borough of River Edge. The only change being made to that redevelopment plan, which establishes how that property can be used and developed, is simply an increase to the residential density that's permitted there. So again, no other changes to that zoning or redevelopment plan, but simply an increase in density to meet the state's requirement, as well as the borough's mediation agreement with Fair Share Housing Center. The next zoning change pertains to an amendment to the existing Affordable Housing 1 overlay zone, which encompasses property on Newbridge Road, including property that's developed with an existing BP gas station, golf simulator facility, and plant retail store. Again, this is zoning that's already in place, and the only modification to that zoning is an increase in density. I should note, with respect to terminology, what an overlay zone means is that it becomes an additional development framework that when and if that property were to be developed with residential development, it would have to adhere to those standards. It does not remove the existing zoning, which allows those uses to continue to be there, including the gas station, golf simulator facility, as well as the retail plant store. And I should note that there are no active development proposals, but that the borough is responsible for creating zoning that creates the opportunity for the development of affordable housing. So again, no active development proposals. There's just this additional zoning that's in place in accordance with the state requirements. Moving on to the third zoning change pertains to the existing multifamily and conditional senior use district. Again, this is an existing conditional zone that was created in 2009. It's basically on the east side of Kinderkumak Road between Howland and Reservoir. It already allows for multifamily development on assemblages of essentially 2 acres. The underlying residential zoning, single-family zoning, will remain in place, so it has absolutely no impact on the dwellings that exist there and the manner in which those properties could be developed. For single-family housing, again, this just creates that option for affordable housing when and if a developer wanted to pursue that. The only modification to this ordinance pertains to the affordable set-aside, meaning that, again, if that type of housing were to occur, instead of 15% of the units being affordable, they'd be increased to 20%. So that's the only change there. Again, so zoning that's in place since 2009, the only change that's happening is an increase in the affordable set-aside it's from 10% to 20%, and 20% being effectively the new state standard. The fourth zoning change is the creation of a new affordable housing 2 overlay zone. Again, an overlay zone being a second development option where the underlying zoning is in place. So in this case, there is a C1 zone, which permits a variety of commercial or non-residential uses. That will remain in place. This property is located at the south end of town with frontage on both Route 4 and Johnson Avenue with a variety of industrial uses as well as a retail building. Through the mediation process, it was discussed that this presented a unique opportunity for redevelopment in the borough, hence the creation of this new overlay zone, this new zoning option, which would allow for multifamily development of the property. Finally, we have the creation of a new affordable housing 3 overlay zone, as it's being called. This is at the north end of the borough on the west side of Kinderkumak Road, which occupies essentially the Riverdale filling station and adjacent Verizon property. Similar to the prior overlay zone, the existing commercial zoning would remain in place, and this would create the option whereby if a developer meets certain conditions, they could develop the property with a certain amount of either multifamily housing or mixed-use housing, whereby there would be commercial development on the first floor and multifamily development on the second floor. I'll note that the maximum permitted height in this overlay zone adheres to the existing zoning in that area, so it would not exceed what's already allowed there, and again, just creates this second option. Again, for the potential creation of affordable housing where there is no current development proposal. And then finally, actually, that's it for this ordinance, Mayor. So that covers the zoning changes with regard to site-specific amendments to the zoning.
And so that's 2604. Any comment on 2605?
So yes, if we'd like to go on to 2605. So 2605 pertains to general affordable housing regulations. This ordinance specifically follows a state model ordinance, which regulates a number of things. One, it regulates any new affordable housing that were to be developed in the borough, whether it's in the zones I just mentioned or anywhere else. There's certain state standards that all affordable housing must adhere to, including phasing, the number of bedrooms, income requirements, eligibility, enforcement fees, et cetera. Again, these are just general requirements that every municipality must follow, but they have to be incorporated into the local code. This ordinance simply repeals and replaces the borough's existing affordable housing regulations. So where the borough adopted a similar ordinance in the prior round, in the third round, they are repealing and replacing those regulations consistent with the new state regulations. So again, just to be compliant from a state level, we've recommended the borough adopt this ordinance. And finally, what this ordinance also includes is what's called an update to the mandatory set aside. So as I mentioned earlier, any any new development in town that has an affordable housing requirement, there's what's called a set aside, a certain percentage of units that have to be affordable, where the standard used to be 15% for rental projects. Sort of across, we've experienced across the board that set aside has been increased to essentially 20%. So again, there are no active development plans, but when and if any project in River Edge that has 5 residential units or more must provide an affordable housing set aside now of at least 20%, where the old standard had been 15%. And then finally, this ordinance also incorporates the borough's development fee regulations, which pertain to the collection of both residential and non-residential development fees. This is something the borough already has in place. It is also a state mandate. So this simply carries forward the borough's existing regulations. These fees are intended to support the borough's municipal affordable housing trust fund, and that pool of money is only permitted to be used for affordable housing activity. And so again, this is based on state law. This is a municipal requirement. That's an overview of that ordinance. And I would just offer that the purpose of compliance and adhering to this final deadline is that the borough remains in good standing with respect to affordable housing compliance. And why that matters is because the borough gets to retain what's known as its immunity from what's called builder's remedy lawsuits, which means that if you're not in compliance, a developer can come and sue the town with a builder's remedy lawsuit, essentially pick a site at will, and make a proposal that is generally more intense than would otherwise be permitted or accepted in the municipality, so that they can produce some number of affordable units where the town doesn't have a plan to do so. And this would prevent that sort of action, which enables the borough to maintain maximum control of its zoning, which means it controls how and where development can occur. And again, this would be for the 4th round, the duration of the 4th round up until 2035. Excuse me.
Any member of council wish to ask a question of Mr. Barron?
I have a question there.
Go ahead. You just turned it off. There you go.
There we go. Thank you, Mr. Barnes, for the comprehensive download. I just want, it's really an informational request.
Sure.
Where within our regulatory framework would parking regulations come into effect with respect to a development and parking requirements? Would that be in accordance with the use based on our existing code? Okay, so
well, let me explain that. I didn't mean to nod. Yeah, so it's
zoning requirements.
We have not provided specific parking standards to these zones. So the default answer is that yes, it would default to what the code currently requires for any type of housing.
For the use.
The caveat to that is that the state's residential parking requirements supersede all municipal requirements. So essentially, the state has certain residential standards that you cannot require more than what the state requires. Generally defaults to about 2 spaces per unit is kind of the state standard for multifamily development when you average things out. It's based on bedrooms, frankly, but
so yeah, because we want to avoid, the difficulties that we've tonight and that we've encountered, I think, borough to some extent. So
yeah,
that's just something to keep in mind, I think, as these things move forward. And I find that the newer development on Kinderknack Road, which is actually south of Reservoir.
you know what,
not between
you're right. You're right. You're right. Okay.
Has adequate parking, keeps cars off the street, which is a good thing. And I hope that we can make sure that happens with any new development.
And we would expect that. And that, I think, brings an important point as far as process goes. So this is just really the beginning of the process. And again, we're only talking about zoning. It creates the opportunity such that a developer could potentially take advantage of that zoning and build a site in accordance with what that zoning prescribes. They would still have to go through the site plan process with the land use board. So, and that's a public process where surrounding property owners get noticed. Yeah. We have a code that, again, if we preserve our immunity, we can retain control over. And that developer, that theoretical developer, would have to adhere to the code.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Councilman Pfeffer, and then Councilwoman Darling.
Thank you. Good evening,
Good
Mr.
evening.
Behrens. Nice to see you.
Likewise.
I support the ordinances, so my question should not be taken as a hostile question.
Never.
Just curiosity.
Okay.
In situations where there are already existing operating businesses on a site, such as the BP gas station, for example, developer comes in, identifies that site for affordable housing and wants to develop affordable housing on that site. Do they have the right to simply, I mean, what happens to the business on that site? That's what I'm asking.
Well, that's entirely a private transaction. So there's no element of eminent domain. No, nobody. So again, through this process, there's no removal of property rights. If anything, it becomes additional property rights. And whoever owns and operates that property would be able to maintain whatever control and rights they have today. And the point is to create a zoning incentive such that it could become lucrative enough to take advantage of that. But again, that doesn't mean any of them are moving tomorrow.
Got it. Thank you.
Councilwoman Darwell.
Hello, thank you.
Good evening.
Regarding one of the housing overlay zone 3, which mentions Summit Avenue, so the residential, it's a tightly packed residential area.
Yeah.
And how would the residents, I know we would, you would send letters, notices, whatever. How would the residents feel about their property value and having to have a multi-family?
I'm going to stop that because it's not appropriate to ask our professionals to determine how residents may or may not feel. It's not a fair question of our professionals. So Tom, you don't need to answer that, and I would prefer you didn't, because we don't want any of our professionals ever to speculate on how the public may or may not feel about anything. But Councilwoman, if you have another question, feel free to do that.
Another one is,
or if you want to rephrase that question, so it doesn't require our professionals to make a subjective judgment about the public.
So I'm going to rephrase it first. Would the public be given enough notice about that this is going to happen?
Yeah, so first and foremost, being very familiar with the borough, I mean, those properties that abut this site were considered at the beginning of the process. And I'll note that where they exist on Summit Avenue, there's a significant grade change. So that's why I mentioned that the height of what the zone already allows wouldn't be any taller than what could be developed there. And I think that's significant because, again, it wouldn't exceed the development potential that the property already allows. We're really just talking about a use change in this case. As far as impacts, I would state that given the existing property conditions, whatever might be would be an improvement, frankly, due to some we'll call it deferred maintenance to be nice. So I think from that perspective, you could look to an upside potentially as far as, again, improvements to those properties. And finally, when we talk about affordable housing, these aren't 100% affordable housing projects. We're talking about a mix of market rate, nice types of housing, as well as what are deemed to be affordable units, which are also nice, frankly. They have amenities and they do require income requirements and certain things like that. So I would expect that impacts would be limited and, if anything, a net benefit for those residents who are considered in this process.
The next one is there is mention of Newbridge Landing Station redevelopment area. Can you, just for my knowledge, where exactly is that?
So, well, I could explain. So River Edge has two train stations. That's the train station at the south end of town. It's the train station at the south end of town in the Total Wine area. So if you think about where that train station is, even though there's not a train station building, there's kind of a platform. There's property on both sides of the tracks, which are really surface parking lots. Again, some of which is owned by NJ Transit, some of which is owned by the borough. So it's both sides of the tracks, those sort of triangular, irregular shapes that are part of that area. So again, this creates a zoning framework so that if that property were ever to be developed, and it would be in partnership with NJ Transit, would be the hope and intention, that it would have to adhere to this development framework.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, Mr. Barron, I just want to emphasize or underline a few things. First, the town is not in any way at this time building or part of a building program. This is simply a state requirement to create opportunities for private businesses if they wish to develop according to state statute. and that this is a program that was created through a New Jersey State Supreme Court decision some
50 years ago.
50 years ago. And that we have but two options to participate in the state program and protect the town from predatory development, or not to protect the town and open us to what I would call or characterize as predatory development, which means a developer who comes and asks for a builder's remedy that could completely eviscerate our zoning and have very large apartment buildings built right next to residential homes that never existed before.
Correct. Lots of unknown impacts and extensive litigation. This would prevent those things.
So now what I'd like for us to do is we're going to open all three ordinances, even 2603, to the public, and then of course we'll have a separate vote for each of them. So I'm going to read all three of them into the record. And then could I have a member of council move and second opening to the public only? Okay. The following ordinances published here within were first read by title only on February 26, 2020. Tom, thank you.
Oh, good.
And posted on the bulletin board outside the clerk's office. Ordinance 2603, an ordinance to amend Chapter 206 of the revised general ordinance of the Borough of River Edge entitled Fees. Ordinance 2604, an ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, Bergen County, New Jersey, amending Chapter 416 zoning of the Borough of River Edge to address the borough's affordable housing obligation by creating new overlay zones for blocks 1418 lots 1, 2, 3, 3.01 and 4, and block 203 lots 2, 2.01, 3, and 4 to permit inclusionary multifamily development and amend the existing AH1 overlay zone, multifamily and senior citizen housing, conditional use district and the Newbridge Landing Station redevelopment plan in accordance with the borough's housing element and fair share plan. Ordinance 2605, an ordinance of the Borough of River Edge, Bergen County, New Jersey, repealing and replacing in its entirety Chapter 50 affordable housing of the Borough Code consistent with the state amended affordable housing regulations. Could I have a motion and second to open to the public on all three ordinances?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Is there anyone remotely? Please raise your hand if you'd like to speak or ask a question. Anyone in chambers? Seeing none, I asked for a motion second to close the public on all three ordinances.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, Madam Administrator, would you please, for the public's benefit, explain what the council is attempting to achieve for 2603 through 2605?
Sure. 2603 codifies the fees for the annual pickleball memberships, specifies the designated courts for tennis and pickleball, and includes a $10 discount when registering for both memberships at the same time. And 2604 implements the settlement agreement of fair share housing to comply with the state's affordable housing regulations. 2 new overlay zones are created. The minimum affordable housing set aside increases in 1 existing overlay zone, and the maximum gross density is increased for 2 other existing overlay zones. And 26-05 replaces the current affordable housing regulations chapter that currently exists in the Borough Code to comply with current state affordable housing regulations.
All right. We are open for debate. Is there any debate on 2603? Comment, inquiry. 2604, debate, comment, or inquiry. 2605, debate, comment, or inquiry. Okay, Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll? Could I have a motion and second to adopt 2603?
So move.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Council President Kinsella? Yes. Councilwoman Mallory?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dariwal?
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
Madam Clerk, first, could I have a motion second to for ordinance 2604 adoption?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Sure. Council President Kinsella? Yes. Councilwoman Mallari?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dhariwal?
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
Could I have a motion second for adoption for ordinance 2605?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Sure. Council President Kinsella? Yes. Councilwoman Mallari?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilwoman Dhariwal?
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
Okay, we move to resolutions. We always read into the record the last resolution, even though we're moving all of them, but I believe, Council President, you want to read into the record a additional resolution.
No, that was it.
No, okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. 26105. Yes.
Yes, I thought so. Okay, so we're going to be moving resolutions 2695 through 2606. And to be very transparent, we will read into the record 105 and 106, even though we're moving all of them. Before we move them and then read them into the record, is there any member of council who wishes to hold out for a separate vote, any resolution, ask a question, or to enter into debate?
I just have a question on one, Mayor.
Sure.
26100. That's only if affordable housing actually is created in the town. Does that take effect, correct?
Mr. Shedanian.
I believe so. I don't have the
affirmative marketing plan?
Affirmative marketing plan.
That's I read, when I reviewed the agenda, that's the affirmative marketing plan that's
Yeah.
being utilized in the event that a development was created and when the affordable housing units went on the market. You have to have a registered agent who puts it out to the public. There's usually like a lottery process for people to get into the affordable housing units.
Okay.
Madam Administrator, anything else?
No, that is correct. And this is something that we are required to have in place as part of the settlement agreement.
Yes. Okay.
Any other question, comment? Pull out? All right, so we're going to move them all. Could I have a motion second to move resolutions 26-95 through 26106?
So move.
Do I not have to read this into record?
Not yet.
Oh, second.
It's been moved and seconded. So could I now ask the council president, do you want to read both of them into the record, or do you want to delegate reading 26-105 to someone else?
Put in, or would you read 105 into the record?
Declare March 2026 as Women's History Month.
No, the actual.
Where is it? Oh, sorry.
You have it?
Yeah.
All right.
Whereas Borough River Edge Resolution 26-105 declared March 2026 as Women's History Month. Whereas every day, without fame or fanfare, women inspire, support, and strengthen their families, communities, and our country. Women's History Month presents a great opportunity to celebrate the tremendous impact women continue to have on our great nation. And whereas the Borough of River Edge recognizes the month of March as Women's History Month, established in 1987 by Congress to celebrate the contribution American women have made to strengthen the nation since its inception. And whereas Women's History Month honors women from all generations and backgrounds, women of every race, status, and ethnicity, who have challenged the social and legal structures that have kept women's labor underappreciated and underrepresented throughout history. And whereas American women have been leaders not only securing their own rights and equal opportunity, but also at the forefront of every major social change movement in history, paving the way for future generations to enjoy the unalienable rights, duties, and responsibilities afforded equally to all citizens of the United States of America. And whereas each woman is extraordinary in her own way, proving that women working inside the home or outside the academia, science, technology, business, labor, governance, and more, maintain a critical role in every sphere of society. And whereas when women succeed, their communities prosper. And whereas the Borough of River Edge is especially proud to acknowledge and celebrate the brilliant and talented female trailblazers in borough administration today. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge do hereby proclaim March 2026 as Women's History Month, and call upon all the residents of River Edge to celebrate the exceptional women in their lives and around our town, state, and country.
Madam Council President, would you please, as Finance Chair, read 2601? 26-106.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
At a regular meeting of the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on March 12th, 2026, be it resolved that the mayor and council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current fund, $270,774.05. General capital fund, $158,712.74. Grant fund, $1,570. Trust other, $1,290.61. Payroll, $24,836.08. Developers escrow, $4,745. Self-insurance trust, $13,397.57.
So moved.
It's already been moved.
Second.
I do the
Sorry,
same
seconded.
thing every time, Dave, same thing.
Okay, so we're moving, we've had a motion and second to move 2695 through 26-106. We have read into the record for transparency and for emphasis 26-105 and 106, though we're moving all of them. Madam Clerk. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there debate? And we have moved and seconded. I didn't mess that up, right? We did. Okay, Madam Clerk.
Council President Kinsella,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory,
Yes.
Councilman Glass.
Yes.
Councilwoman Dory
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Yes.
Very good. Is there any new business?
Mayor, is there,
Oh, go
can
ahead.
we comment?
Please, go ahead.
We're not up to comment yet. Comment would be council comments. We're just doing new business. That would be something you're asking the council to consider it today or in the future.
No, comment on the ordinance.
That would be during council comments. You want to do it now? Go ahead.
Okay.
It
No,
doesn't.
it's fine.
Well, it does, but I'm good.
I thought like we go.
It's
for-
procedural.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay. Old business, special projects engineer, Madam Administrator.
Yes, this is listed, we did solicit an RFP, and I know our recreation director would like to move forward with improving the tennis courts as well as have Memorial Park studied for improvements. We have received emails from our congressional representative, Josh Gottheimer, as well as both of our senators for requesting a congressional appropriation, but we need to have a concept, a plan, and a monetary amount in order to request our representatives for funding. So, but to come up with all of that, we need engineering expertise.
Okay, so this could fall under two committees. This could fall under the contract committee, or this can fall on the personnel committee. I believe that it would be better that it fell under the contract committees for a number of reasons, because it's not so much at this point hiring an individual, it's about reviewing, what do they call it? Perspectives? Proposals. And so, and Dave, I think.
Yeah, I read them cover to cover. They're really statements of qualification.
Yeah. And you're on the contracts committee, aren't you not?
I don't know. I didn't know there was one.
We did create one. Well, did we renew it this year?
Yes, I believe.
I believe
The
Lisa is
attorney,
on it.
the governing body members who are attorneys.
Okay, well, what I would recommend to the council is that we ask the contract committee, look at it, and if one member of the contract committee would like to substitute with Councilman Glass because he is an engineer, I recommend that. That does not require public action. That just substituting a member would be a good idea. Is the council in agreement that this would be the proper way to move forward?
Yes.
Sure.
All right.
Yes.
Mayor, I just want to point out that time is of the essence, because with regards to the tennis courts, this needs to get done around September, October. Well,
It has to be
constraints.
completed, paid, closed out before December.
Before December, so
if it's acceptable, we'll ask the borough administrator to coordinate with the members of the committee, and or substituting members for Councilman Glass if the committee wishes to do that. And then the committee can report back to us either at the next meeting, which might be a little bit tight, or the meeting after that.
okay.
I think the second meeting in April, the first meeting in April, right? Because we're would be,
I think the
would be
12th.
2 meetings from now.
Right, it's, I think.
April 12th? Yeah,
So
because
the Sunday-
April 12th.
Oh, 9th, sorry.
So if Madam Administrator, if you would just coordinate with the committee and if the committee can then meet with the administrator on whoever might be a part of it, I would recommend to the committee that we keep Councilman if not keep him, put him on that committee because of his
If I'm on the
expertise.
committee, Mr. Glass can replace me.
Well,
I
that
don't know
would,
if I.
that would be an internal discussion amongst the committee members. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just clarification. So I seem to recall hearing, I don't know, a month or two ago, that there is a plan already to renovate the tennis courts.
No, that is the next project. There's funding already in place.
There's funding in
From
place.
old grant, yes.
So it is going to happen.
It needs to happen, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there a starting date? Like, so people know, you know, when they're going to have use of the tennis courts, when they're not going to have use of the tennis court?
No,
We don't
no.
have a start date.
That's why we need
We
this
need
many
RF.
projects and.
Yes.
Concept.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not, it's not like the pickleball courts, you're not building something from scratch, you're just repairing it, but we just need.
So
an
funding
expert.
exists, but there's just no plan or schedule yet.
That is correct.
Got it.
This is why we need to get this done now.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
We're good? Okay, cool. Okay, council comments, Councilwoman Darwell.
I just want to thank Mayor and Council for recognizing Women's History Month in March. It means not only to the women, but also to the men who have these amazing women standing beside them, behind them. And I'm just calling upon all the residents of River Edge, just celebrate those exceptional women in your lives and around the town, around the state and the country. And it not only recognizes and celebrates the talented trailblazers in the Edinburgh administration, but just all the residents and all the women around you. So thank you.
Absolutely. And any other member of council comments?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Glass.
I just want to recognize, glad we moved forward with this affordable housing matter. And I want to thank Mr. Barons again for all his efforts and really terrific work. And I want to thank our land use board. We have a great land use board.
We do.
We have some great people on it and we're really lucky and they really take it seriously and they work hard. And we got.
After I left the land use board.
What?
After I left.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. Major improvement.
And seriously, Mayor, you've provided a lot of leadership.
Thank you.
On land use board. It's been very effective. You guided us through this whole process, got us where we need to be now. And I thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman. I appreciate those words. Any other member of council? All right, I believe we have a couple of things coming up. Just we should we have the River Edge Run. That's April, right?
25th, yes.
We have
March 28th is celebrating River Edge. It's a River Edge 250 committee event celebrating 250 years of America happening at the library.
Good.
And starts at 10:30 a.m. goes until 1 p.m.
Oh, I did want to add, I strongly recommend that the contract committee include, in addition, of course, our administrator, our superintendent of public works. And as part of that, and perhaps also our director of recreation. In some of that conversation, once you get to the point where you've kind of whittled it down and just so that their input is it's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea because most of the projects that are coming up has to do with rec and the DPW.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. If there, yeah.
Tax assessment.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's very important. So we have a borough reassessment. We're doing it for 5 years, and we're doing it for 5 years so that we equalize property values so that everyone is treated fairly. They do 20% or 1/5 of the town each year. And from that actual on-site reassessment, it then affects pretty much all the values in town. So that we don't have some members of town paying a higher than fair or proper value, and some members of town paying less. So we know that there's been some members of the public who have been concerned about this. Towards that end, Mr. Anzavino, Jim Anzavino, who is our tax assessor, and I and some members of council will be here in Borough Hall on March 25th from 11 to 1?
21st.
21st. Did I say 25th?
Yes.
At 21st from 11 to 1, and I believe that's a Saturday.
Yes.
And any other member of council is welcome, and any member, and please pass it along. I'll be putting it on the Mayor of River Edge Facebook page. It's already on the website. And feel free to share it and let people know. Mr. Anzavino is a tremendous resource. He will be able to explain what the situation is. He will also be able to explain if members of the public wish to challenge it, what avenues of challenge they may exercise. So I highly recommend that we advertise this as best as possible, and that way the public can understand. Also, I want to thank the Citizens Budget Committee, the council, our CFO, our business administrator, and our finance committee, and all those who have worked to draft our budget for 2026. It will be introduced at the next meeting. By state statute, has to be introduced before the end of March, and then it will be adopted before the end of April. And the public, there will be a public hearing for this. It's a very difficult year because healthcare went up 37%, more than $450,000 just there. It costs us about $1.1 to $1.2 million for Bergen County Utility Authority. They get rid of our waste, when you flush the toilet. And there have been all sorts of increases for materials due to the tariffs, and there have been also all sorts of increases due to inflation and fuel costs. So it was a very difficult budget to put together. Commend our council president, who is the chair of the finance and the finance committee, for working very hard at giving us an essential budget. And so it's coming in at about 4.76, I think. We are not happy with that, but that is the best we could do. We had every department look at their budget, and they were amazing. All of our departments, our police, our fire, our DPW, our business, our clerk's office. Who am I leaving out? Rec. And they looked at their budgets and they said, where could we cut? And if they needed more money, where could we transfer money? So hard work. And we are grateful for our volunteers. We are grateful for our professionals. And we're grateful for our residents, who are our neighbors. Okay, could I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting?
One last.
One last thing.
Me.
You go first.
I just want to mention, since I forgot to mention that the annual egg hunt is also on March 28th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Good. Neil, we don't open to the public again.
You said so right after Red Cross was finished, said you will open to the public.
We did.
Only items on the agenda.
No, any item I said.
Okay.
We don't do only items. Pot. Neil, you are a staple of River Edge. I asked the council to make an exception and to reopen to the public. Is the council willing?
So moved.
Could I have a motion and second?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Neil, you have
Something
3 minutes.
very near and dear to my heart. Neil Carroll, 321 Vales Avenue. As the deputy OEM, I'm always concerned about the mayor and council. And I have afforded the opportunity to the mayor and council, well, the mayor, the administrator, and the council president, that Rochelle Park is opening their doors next Thursday for an hour and a half at their senior center, which is basically the Borough Hall, to learn about the ICS process incident command system, and all the things related to OEM. And they have one class at 10 o'clock in the morning and one at 7 p.m. They last an hour and a half, but a wealth of knowledge. I've had them here. Larry Roush was here in the previous council. And I don't know if you were present at the time. I
think I was.
Yeah. And it's an hour and a half, and it's a wealth of knowledge and solves a lot of problems by the council having questions of why did this happen? Why did that happen, etc. So 10 a.m., just tell me who's willing to go. And
Give
I
the
talked
date
to
again.
Pete this morning, and he has room for anybody that wants to attend.
Date again?
Next Thursday, the 19th.
At 10 a.m.
10 a.m. and 7 p.m. for anybody that's.
You can add me, 10 a.m.
Okay, who else?
You can add me too.
Yep. Okay.
Neil,
people?
I did see that email. I'm sorry I didn't respond to it more sooner. This is March 19th, 10 a.m. And can you give me the location again?
151 West Passaic Street, I believe.
We can carpool, Mayor.
That sounds good.
Well, you drive in the driveway, the first driveway, and go around the back. And
Neil, that's a 3-hour class?
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. I just doubled it, didn't I?
Yeah. I don't know if you know Barry Leventhal and Matt Zimkowitz, but they're going to run the class, and they're very knowledgeable. They work for the county OEM.
Absolutely. So cool. And so we'll be there. You'll sign us up?
Yes.
The public should know that Neil has been the backbone of so many great things in our town. Not only is a firefighter and OEM, but his connections with the county, Bergen County OEM, and Bergen County Fire Coordination has afforded us many benefits, including and especially during Hurricane Sandy and other emergencies. And we thank Neil for his unwavering attention to detail. Neil, we thank you.
Thank you.
Anything
Was that
else?
3 minutes?
I turned it off.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Can I have a motion second to close the public?
So moved.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Could I have a motion second to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Neil.